Welcome to ZOOMERTIMES TV. And here's your host, Anita Finley.
Hello, everybody. I'm Anita Finley, and I'm certainly happy to be here with you again today. Our ZOOMERTIMES presentations have kind of gone viral. A lot of people see them, they like them, and we continue to do them. We prefer it rather than getting to the radio station. So the nice thing is that we can find great people to be on Zoom. It's really easier because a lot of people then don't have to travel. We have people from all over the country. But today, Colleen Haney, who is full of energy, that's her name, Miss Energy. And Colleen Haney, that's what she is. She's an energy therapist. And we actually, of course, as you know, we work with AIM, the AIM program with Roberta Halatic. And we thought that we would have both of them on together, but right now we're going to talk to Colleen. So Colleen has her office in Boca Raton. It's a fabulous place to be. It's relaxing, but you will be so energized when you finish working with her. So hello, Colleen, and thanks for coming back with us.
Hi there, thank you. And this is the first time I've had the opportunity to talk about the AIM program in a long time. The AIM program from EMC Square is actually the name of the company. The AIM program is all-inclusive method of energies. So it's a wonderful way to be supported, kind of, I think of it as being supported in the background by energy 24 hours a day, all the time. So I've been a facilitator for the company in the area of Florida and other areas as well for probably, I think we're going on 20 years that I've been with them.
And of course, I met you early on so many years ago, and it's been just terrific. She's been a wonderful part of my life. But actually, Colleen, what I really want to do, though, with you is share with people that what you do. It isn't just like a therapist, you just sit and talk to someone. You do a lot of things. Let's make believe someone just came into your office. It's really not an office, it's a center. It's a wonderful, warm center.
Yeah.
Tell us what you do.
Well, the most important thing that I do is to help people raise their awareness of energy and their bodies, because our bodies are our tools here on this earth plane. And so it's important to be aware of what's happening in your body and what's happening with energy around you, in you, through you. And most people, unfortunately, don't have any sense of that at all. It is really a shame, because our major relationship on this earth plane is with our bodies. You know, it's the tool that we move about and we're able to do and experience anything. And a lot of times, most of people's energies are not inside their bodies. So the main important thing that I do is help people recognize that, to feel themselves, to be aware of their bodies. Most people know their bodies through pain, which is really unfortunate. And by the time the body has gotten into pain, it's been trying to talk to you for a long, long time and give you information. The body itself is conscious. So we've got millions and trillions of cells, actually, that are divinely created, connected to the universe, so to speak. So our bodies are way more smart than we are. So when someone comes in, we do some talking. I do have an interview form that goes over some of their medical issues that they might be interested in that's happening with their body, spiritual issues, emotional issues, any kind of trauma that they've had throughout their lifetime. And it's interesting because that does show up in the physical issues or problems that they have with their body, shows up in regards to the traumas that they've had or the experiences that have hurt them emotionally, physically, spiritually. And then we go into doing some energy checks from the Eden Energy method, which is kinesiology, mind and body, and working together. Neuroscience, and looking at how the body is responding to different things that we're talking about, and energy centers. We have many energy centers in the body. We have many energy circuits. So I run through a check of those and give people information right away to what's on, what's off, what kinds of things they can do to get their energy running better just for themselves. One of the most important things that I feel that I do that I'm not aware that anybody else does is take a look at how much of your energy is actually in your body. And it's amazing how many people are really carrying other people's energies. And that's pretty astonishing.
Wait, stop. Wait, say that again. Do that one again.
That many people are carrying other people's energy and not their own.
Explain that, please.
Well, we are called, our body, our physical presence is made to hold us. Only Colleen, only Anita. But if we're tied up in business, in work, in family, in issues, our energy literally goes to those places. Energy follows thought. And so, many people come and they're only like 1% of themselves because their energy is everywhere else. It's also astonishing to me to have people walk into my office that are 50, 60, 70 years old, and the majority of energy in their bodies are still their parents. Which again is helping people claim their own lives, be present to themselves. What energy do you have that is not in you, that is somewhere else, that it's time for you to claim that?
And all the time that I've known you, we talked to you, I've never heard this before. At least
I haven't.
Or if I haven't paid attention to it. So that's a very interesting few statements. That's so okay. Is it bad that your energy is in other things as well as yourself? Is that a problem?
Yes. Well, that means you don't have all of you. If I'm sitting here talking to you, but I'm thinking about work or I'm concerned about work, I'm not totally present. And a lot of people miss a lot of things because of that. That first assessment that I do, when someone comes to the office the first time, I like 2 hours. And it is amazing how much people retain from that. Not very much. And part of the work then that we do is for people to retain more and more of themselves, through the sessions, through the time, because again, it's like the AIM program. We want to have 100% of us right here present so that we can go through life, so that we can work through issues, so that if there is a medical issue that comes up, we can heal faster. Think about the power that we could really have if we are totally present. And unfortunately, in our world today, there is so much to pull our attention away, so much to distract us from being here, being present now.
This sparkling personality, her name is Colleen Haney. You can reach her. I'm going to give you her phone number. Remember, I used to say it was Pencil Talk Radio. Now it's Pencil Talk Zoomer Times. And it's 561-212-6862. That's 561-212-6862. And you can go online, and it's Colleen Haney, HANEY.com.
Yes.
Yeah. Colleen, COLLEENHANEY.com. And you can make an appointment. You can talk with her. She's a very generous person. She's done a lot of seminars. She's done a lot of community work. And she is a charming, very intelligent woman. Actually, when I met you, I think I knew about this. You have a PhD in speech therapy, I believe.
Actually, I didn't finish the program.
Yeah, but
I'm ABD. Right, I'm ABD. So it came to the point where, I chose myself over the work. And I left all of that world and really devoted myself to the energy work and becoming more present myself. At one point in time, I was the queen of multitasking. I was running a large, actually, corporation for the government, and had, my mind was going 500 miles an hour, 24 hours a day. And I became sick. And it was probably one of the greatest things that ever happened to me, because then I had the opportunity to really learn about myself and my body, and that my body was better than a car, because most people do take better care of their car than their bodies. And so it was a process for me to find my way back and to claim all of me. There's a practice in shamanism called, claiming your spirit, calling your spirit back. And that's something that I help clients do on a daily basis, because we're not aware of how easily our energy can leave us. Any thought, any project, if we don't call our energy back, it's out there. It's out there.
And you teach people how to do a lot of these things, don't you? I mean,
yes, to do it for themselves and to be able to know, it's very fascinating now. I have clients now that, they can tell right away when they're not all of themselves. They can tell when they've switched. And that's the other thing, that we have this wonderful ability, I'm not sure, talent perhaps, that we can switch from our adult to our child, to our wounded one, so what's happening right now? Who are you responding from? Are you responding from your adult, from your higher self, from your wounded child? And you can see that in life. Unfortunately, right now in our world, we have a lot of wounded children that are running around in adult bodies, running our country, and that's part of the issue of really connecting with yourself and to connect with that higher part of you, which is your higher self.
It's interesting you should say that, because I have a couple of close, whether relatives or friends, I'm not going to divulge that, but I never thought in terms of wounded children, but they are wounded children. And as much as you can try to share what your ideas of what their life was like, that's not good enough. They have to get out of that being a wounded child. And it is really very destructive. And wounded children, you're right. I didn't even want to go into politics. I just wanted to go into friends because I don't think I have any wounded. I don't think I'm a wounded child. I've always felt that I have lots of love and peace and everything. So I recognize I have plenty of other things, but that's not one of my problems. And no matter how I can share my feelings with them, no, that's not really but they go for therapy. They actually go to psychologists for therapy. So, and unfortunately, one of them doesn't live here, or I would definitely have her talk to you. You do think so over the phone too, don't you?
I do. Yes. Yeah, I do. Quite a bit, and more so even during
That's a very interesting idea.
And it can be anything, it doesn't really have to do with your particular childhood, the way you grew up. It can go to the individual hurts that you've had throughout your life that take you back to feeling like a child. Sometimes the major reaction is, with your boss. Your boss all of a sudden becomes the authority figure, and then you feel small. And so there can be sometimes it happens with husband and wife, that one can take a superior role or actually be asking someone a question, or would you do this? And the person can perceive that as, you're just like my mother, when in reality you're not, but they're coming from that filter, so to speak, of being in their child. If something happened to them during the day, or something at work didn't go well, they come home as that wounded child and not as the adult that they are.
Well, let's talk about people joining AIM, because I have been a member for many years, and I do attribute a lot of my good health and my good times because I have felt of being wrapped. I don't know if that's the right. I feel like I'm wrapped in some sort of not a womb, but a warm place that I feel good in, and I don't think about it often, except when I'm maybe talking about AIM or talking about this. But I've always been a believer in energy, and as a matter of fact, I'm reviewing a book right now about someone who's been a gypsy, and she's long gone now, but all the things she talked about the the being psychic and being all those things. And so everything you're saying it's all energy that she must have been able to garner.
And a lot of those things are our natural potential, insight and intuition and reading other people's minds and knowing the future. That's really our potential. Those are really things that we are made to do. We are really superior beings. We just don't recognize it, and we don't pay attention to it. And as I said, no one's really taught us to know what we really are.
So that's something very good for people who are listening, watching. And I hope, and I know that Colleen is on a tight schedule, but I want her to I want to give you her information again. It's Colleen Haney, and her phone number is 561-212-2862. And her website is colleenhaney.com. And if you can't you lose it, just call Boomer Times and we'll get you set up. But Colleen, as long as you can stay, I know you have an appointment and you have to run off, but what is it that people on the short stick, in a sense, say they don't join AIM right now, what is it that they can do in these trying times right now as a fast kick right now to get? Is it food? Is it sleep? Is it anything that they can just put their finger on?
I would say it's a connection to their higher self, really tapping in, because that is what the AIM program represents. It's feeding frequencies, it's cleaning things out of our system that have blocked or stopped us from being truly the powerful beings that we are. So getting connected to your higher self is another way too, to really have that potential of tuning in to what the AIM frequencies give us. I like to describe, I can remember in the early years when AIM came out, it was pretty far-fetched for many, many people that, you take my photograph, and from my photograph, you'll get all these frequencies and you'll get cleared and you'll feel better and you'll think blah, 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 all that. It's a far stretch even for people now, even though we do have quantum physics, we have, Dr. Emoto's work with water, and we know that it's scientifically proven, but it's still a far stretch for many, many people. But that concept of tuning into more of you, tuning into the idea that, the universe is kind, the universe loves you, the universe wants you to be successful. The universe is always sending you frequencies. Are you open to pick them up? Are you open to the joy and the gifts that are streaming through the universe, through AIM or through any other blessings that come our way? I know I used to tell people, everybody buys health insurance and everybody wants to make sure they have health insurance. So my husband at the time and I were having this discussion because he thought this was a crazy idea and why spend this money? And I said, well, do you buy health insurance? And he said, yes. And I said, why do you buy health insurance? And he said, in case I get sick, I have coverage. And I said, aha, that's the difference right there. The AIM program is to keep you healthy so that you are paying an amount of money to have that insurance that day by day you are getting healthier, rather than having the consciousness that when I get sick, my health insurance will pay for it. So with the AIM program, you have the consciousness that I'm always healing myself. And that's the concept with the AIM program. The more that you are in your body, the more frequency that you have that is you are constantly healing yourself. You're constantly moving through these frequencies that are out in the world all the time, that are even coming up through our bodies from other times, the DNA from our ancestors. We're clearing all that out all the time. So it's a way.
I could listen to you forever. And I wish you just could give us more time right now. We'll have to do this more another time. But see, everything you say is easy for some people, but it really requires, I think, a practitioner like you to help someone do this. People, because they know what they should do, but a lot of people don't do it. And some people don't know, but your words are so well spoken, and when they're with you, they feel your energy. I know that because I've had that happen, and hopefully on Zoom, people will feel that also. So I
hope so too. Yeah, it's an invitation. It's an invitation to become more of you. It's an invitation to, gather up the abilities, the powers that we have as we all continue to evolve and grow through these crazy, crazy times that are really meant to be times of growth and development. It's like taking all the shit that becomes the manure so the flower can grow better.
I love that. So is your client waiting for you?
Actually, I have to drive to the office. I did this from home.
So, okay, then you'll have to go.
I've got to leave. Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and I'll say goodbye. And
well, thank you for the pleasure. All righty, take care.
Our pleasure, Colleen.
Bye-bye.
Bye.